Hello and welcome back to our channel where we discuss all things related to investing and personal finance. Today we're going to talk about a popular investment strategy known as selling covered calls. First, let's define what a covered call is. A covered call is an options trading strategy that involves selling a call option on a stock that you already own. This is done to generate extra income on top of any potential capital gains from the stock. In other words, you are selling the right for someone else to buy your shares at a predetermined price, which is called a strike price, for a specified time period. One of the main benefits of selling covered calls is that it provides an additional source of income. The premium received from selling the call option can be used to boost your returns or offset any losses in the stock. Additionally, selling covered calls can provide some downside protection as the premium received from selling the option can help reduce losses if the stock price drops. Of course, no investment strategy is without risks. The main risk associated with selling covered calls is that if the stock price rises above the strike price, the option buyer may exercise the option and you will have to sell your shares at the lower price. This means you may miss out on any potential gains if the stock continues to rise. Additionally, if the stock price drops significantly, the premium received from selling the covered call may not be enough to offset those losses. To sell a covered call, you first need to own the underlying stock. Then you sell a call option with a strike price that is higher than the current stock price. The expiration date of the option can vary, but it is typically within a few months. The premium you receive for selling the option will depend on the stock price, strike price, and expiration date. While most people sell covered calls 1 or 2 months out, you can maximize your profits by selling shorter time periods, and I like to sell covered calls on weekly options whenever possible. We learn best by doing, so I'm going to give you a step-by-step walkthrough for how to sell a covered call using a stock that I just bought. I like to keep it real and show all the numbers. So on Friday, I ended up buying Tesla at $177.50 because I had sold a put and was assigned the stock. My cost basis is $176.45 since I received a $1.05 premium for each share when I sold the put. This is all part of the wheel strategy, and you can check out my YouTube videos for more info on the wheel strategy, which is awesome. Now, let's go through the step-by-step process of selling a covered call. When you're selling covered calls, I really recommend that you go to Beast Mode Analysis and then click on the Option Analyzer, and this is my free Option Analyzer tool. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to put in the stock that we own. So here I've got Tesla. I bought the stock on the 10th. 100 shares, my price was $177.50, so that means I'm into this for $17,750. And if you're watching this video at a later date, you can put in any stock that you want and just use the right dates for you. Next up, we've got to look at the credits, and this is what we sold. Now, before I bought this, I actually sold a put. Here's that information. I received $1.05, and the important thing that we're looking at right now is that we know my cost basis is $176.45. So now let's talk about selling a covered call. All you do is come down to the bottom of the page, and here we've got sell a covered call, and generally speaking, I'm doing about a 0.3 delta, and you could use any delta that you want. I recommend 0.3 if you want to get out of it and get a good premium, but if you wanted to hold the stock for a longer time frame, you could use a lower delta, and that will keep the stock. It'll also give you the highest strike price. So up here now, what we need to do is put in what we want to sell. So the first example, we're going to do Tesla, selling it on the 13th. It's going to be 4 days out, 100 shares, which is one contract. And I've already looked it up, and I know I want to sell the 182.5. So now let's jump over to Thinkorswim and look at how much we can get for that option. So now I'm actually in Thinkorswim, and you can use any options platform you like, Webull, Moomoo, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a similar process. And from Thinkorswim, all I do is come over and click on the trade button, and this brings up my different option chains. So right now we're looking at the March 17th, and what we want to do is we want to find that delta. So we've got delta showing here, and our closest delta is the 0.29, and this just means that there's a 29% chance that this price of 182.50 will be reached, or said another way, we have a 71% chance that we're going to get to keep our premium. And now what do we want to do? We come over here, we've got a bid and the ask, and if we come over this, we can see we could sell it for $236, and the ask on it, or the buy, is $244. We're going to split the difference on this and say we should be able to get about $2.40 per share.
So now we come back to the option analyzer, and here we've got to put in our credit or share price. So we're going to be getting a $2.40 credit. So we just simply put in $2.40, and now this tells us that our annualized ROI is going to be 124.1%, and that is if this covered call is not exercised. So that is a phenomenal return, and that's an option that we would have actually sold for 4 days, 124.1%. Now, if you remember earlier, I said most people sell covered calls and they go out about 1 or 2 months, and I'm going to show you right now why this way is much better whenever you can sell weekly options. We're now back in Thinkorswim, so let's go ahead and go out a little bit further. So we're going to come down to our option chain, and let's just go for the April 14th. We're going to open that up, and we want to look for the 0.3 delta, and here we can see we've got a bid of 540 and an ask of 570. So let's just go ahead and split that one and say if we sell this, we should be able to get about $5.55 per contract. And we can see this is for the April 14th, $195 strike price. So let's pop right back over here, and we need the April 14th, so that's going to be 32 days out. And we said it was going to be $5.55. And now look at our annualized ROI. It's 35.9%. So when you look at these numbers, what I'm really trying to show you is if you sell a weekly option, how much more you can make by doing it every week. And the annualized ROI shows everything. Would you rather make 124.1% if it's not exercised, or 35.9%? So here we can see the weekly is much more profitable, and that's why I love to sell weekly options whenever possible on my covered calls. And now let's focus on the 1 week Tesla option and take a look at what happens. I'm going to go ahead and move this over to open, and here we can see a summary of our weekly income. And what I want to show you is the Tesla wheel trade summary, and this shows we sold a put, we bought the stock, and now we are selling the covered call. And whenever we sell the covered call, let's update our date here to the 17th. Now what's going to be happening is our total wheel profits, if closed, are $845. Our ROI works out to 4.76, and then our ROI over 7 days would be 248.23%, which is impressive. And we can see our days held, and this breaks everything down. So this is how I love to sell covered calls. Focus on a weekly whenever possible, and most of the time I focus on a covered call with about a 0.3 delta whenever I'm selling it, and that means that the stock may be called away from me. It's got about a 30% chance of happening, and then if it doesn't get called away from me, I will simply sell a covered call the next week or the next month, whatever I'm selling, and that's covered calls in a nutshell.
Let's recap what we've learned today. Selling covered calls can be a useful strategy for investors looking to generate extra income and provide some downside protection. However, it is important to understand the risks associated with this strategy and carefully consider if it is right for your investment goals and risk tolerance. Thank you for tuning in today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this one. Grab your free stocks from Moomoo and Webull, and you can try my indicators for free. All the links are down below, and my trade alerts are in my Discord. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to see you back here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Peace.